format, guys. So we should be able to now I don't wonder why it is not happening. It is not at least getting those variables printed here. That's bad. You see here, it's not printing a value for those dates. So it is not passing those dates here. That's a problem. So how to fix it? Okay, let me do this. How to fix it is, why am I not getting the date here though I'm passing it? That's a beautiful question, but I don't have an answer because I have given it a good value and it should come up like that. The reason could be the date format, guys. Let us play a trick and it should work. I'm going to initialize it here because date formats are always complex to understand. Every database has its own format. Every tool has its own format. So here I am going to give as input string as 01.01.0001, comma. I am going to give the format as mm.dd.yyyy. Now it will accept me. In the same way, I copy this, I come down, and here instead of low I wanted to make it as high, and here I give it as 12.31.9999. Okay. Now it is giving me 4 warnings, still saying high date will be converted to varchar. I don't think it will be that bad. Input string as varchar and the formatting string as a varchar, and the output will be a date time. So I can also use date part, but let me try it now because it's not going to take too long for us. If it is not working, I will refer my initialization script where everything is already pre-built. This kind of testing process have occurred many times, but now it is printing, guys. If you see, the low date and high date are printed. I will show you here. You see the, if you see the screen, I highlighted it. It is able to print, but in data services default format. So let us go and see in the database if it got that or not. The end date is appearing here, the start date did not appear. The reason is again the format. If you see the format, it is printing as 01. So 01 is actually is not a valid format for a date. But data services is treating it like that. That is the reason it is not printing it out. Why don't we do an easy trick in order not to waste too much of time, because I want it to start from 1947, sorry, because my hero's story started there. I can pick up any date like August 15th or can someone quickly say when did we get independence? Is that a right date, guys? People no. So it's the August 15th, but yeah, let us make it a mix of Republic and Independence date. That's okay. I wanted to put it as January 26, 1947, or I can make it as a Republic date 1950, I think. Am I right now? Okay. We hardly remember the history, which is important. I recently watched even movie Gandhi, and last month I think I watched it. I enjoy that movie, man. Try to watch the Gandhi movie, the English version of it. You would see really how important Gandhi was for our country, because never he was portrayed in the same way in an Indian movie. I watched the movie several times. I enjoy that. And the other movie I always recommend everyone to watch, my favorite movie, Home. It is available on YouTube. Try to spend some time. It is a real beautiful view of Earth, the Mother Earth which you are living. It looks gorgeous. They have used helicopter to shoot the entire Earth. and you will enjoy the movie. Trust me, though it is a documentary, do not allow your mind to think, oh, documentary, I should not watch it. I recommend, guys, please go and watch that movie. It will be my favorite movie. I added it to my favorites, and a lot of the times when I work, I always keep that movie on. I listen to it. I enjoy listening to it. So please do watch that movie. It will be a great experience for you to see Earth from a high degree, and they will also tell you what is the current situation, what bad situations is the Earth is in. So we'll be facing a lot of trouble if we don't really take care of Earth. So I have put it here, the low date and high date. I am doing what is it? What is it? Yeah, we can put as load date or low date. I have put it as the start date is 1947. But we can always, when things are troublesome like this, the easiest thing for me to get rid of is go and make it as system date, man. Then it will not trouble you too long. I'll do that. You see, I'm trying to make it beautify it. Sometimes on the show things won't work. I wanted to be adventurous and show you everything on the fly instead of showing you something which is already a good job, which I have worked in some other project. I don't want to show all those for you, and that won't sound realistic. Now you are visualizing while I design and while I do it. So that's what I wanted to show you. So we have given today as a start date for this address, and we end dated it, and this is the current address. Now we are at the right point. Whom do you want it to change the address? Whom do you like of all these customers? I wanted to go with uh, I will pick my Mills Steel. I like Mills Steel, and he is in Phoenix. Let me change his address to California. How about that? So, or I go with the Hilal's choice. Yeah, give me your choice, Hilal. I don't want to disappoint you. Network, this one. Faster network. Why don't we change him? And he's in Bombay Street, San Diego. My favorite Bombay. So I went to San Diego. There is Bombay Street and there is a nice restaurant there. So I'm going to update this guy, Faster's Network. Faster Networks. It's a company name, it seemed to be, but that's okay. I'm going to make him a San Rafael guy. I will ask him to come and share my office. The region ID, let me make it as 4. And the zip code, I will make it as 94903. And the current timestamp, anyhow, when we update it, the current timestamp will change, but the source timestamp, you don't require it anytime. So if I say a check mark here, apply change data, it already applied it, and we will see our fastest network, a company, he moved to San Rafael. Now, how do I handle this situation in data warehouse when I wanted to build a type 2 dimension is our complex thing that we are trying to handle. So now if I run the job, you'll get the data, it will reinsert. I mean, when I say reinsert, anyhow, this you are not going to use this option always, right? Drop the table and recreate and delete the data before loading. We wanted to now make it as a standard table. Let me do that first before I do anything. So you understand the purpose of a template table, guys. It makes your life easier. The template tables are flexible. You can change the structure anytime you want. And finally, when you think this is the structure I want, you make it as a regular table. And now I don't want to delete the data every time I load. I always wanted to update the data so that when the new entry comes into picture, it will be stored. Here comes the concept of surrogate ID. We will also look into that. And also we will first use the history preserving transformation, which will help us to build the type 2 dimension. So now I know that my source has an update. Now the data is going to flow in again. it will create a duplicate. Though I use the autocorrect load, it will still create a duplicate because autocorrect load will work on certain keys which you provide. So let me use this because this is a small dimension table and I use the autocorrect load. And also I go here and make the customer ID as my primary key. So if I load it now straightforward, it is the type 1 dimension. It will override whatever is existing in my target. If you want it to see, if you want me to run, I can run this. It will update. It will not insert anything. Just a quick example I will show you. Try to monitor it too close, guys, or else you will miss the track. Let me show you what is in the target. In the EDW, I go here and select 100 rows. We are talking about fastest network. It is in Bombay Street and it is in San Diego. Now the source address is changed. I'm going to rerun the same job and see there is not going to be any duplicate. All it will do is it will update the records. Where if you don't use autocorrect load, it is going to always insert a duplicate. So now the problem of duplicate can be avoided, but that particular address is maintained as a type 1 dimension which we don't want. I wanted to maintain this as a type 2 dimension. That will be the later thing which I'm going to tell you. So let me run it. You see the faster networks is now 55 Bombay Street, but he is in San Rafael and his region ID is changed. Rest of all the data stays the same. So this is what is a type 1 dimension. Any questions so far, guys? Or else I'll build the type 2 dimension really quick where you'll have to understand we will use more than one transformations and it makes life easier in data services to build a type 2 dimension than in any other ETL tool. I challenge on that. Any questions, guys? Okay, here whatever I have did. Okay, I will show you. What I did is I went into my customer type 2 dimension. Still it is not a type 2 dimension, but I first try to show you how to handle a type 1 dimension. In options, I went and made my use input keys as yes and autocorrect load as yes. Earlier they were no. Now I turned them and flipped them as yes. After I turned them, what I did is my input key is customer ID. So which means if the same customer comes again, update him, not don't create one more record. All you'll have to do is update him. Use the input key. If the same customer is coming again, the rest of the data could have changed. So as per the type 1 dimension, I just need to update him. He got updated. Few things will change. His current date, his end date, everything may change. Let us go also look into what has happened to his date, because it is only today. It won't change, guys. If you have monitored even time, the time factor would have come there and the updated time of this particular record will be put in there. But is it clear what I tried to do? Guys, silence is violent. I don't like silence. Please. Okay. So, Chaudhary had sent me you are entering